Well, good morning, everyone. Let's see if we can get this party started here. All right. Oh, we got to launch the chats here. Let's see. There we go. That part's working fine, it looks like. At least as far as I can tell at this point. Let's see in this chat over here. All right. And let's see who we've got, if anybody yet. All right, here we go. Okie dokie. There we go there. It looks like.
Good morning.
Good morning, Alex. All right. It looks like we are up and running.
Off to the races.
Yes. And you know what's interesting, Alex? On this soundboard, when I hit the mute button, so like if I want to cough or something, it mutes what I'm hearing, but it's not muting my microphone. We got to work at that afterward. I don't know how to do it properly. All right, let's see here. Let's get this camera adjusted properly. All right, there we go. Well, good morning, Dave.
Good morning, guys.
There we go. There's the camera. There's that smiling, handsome face.
Ready to roll.
Ready to roll. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I got to get this. All right, there we go. Good morning, James.
Good morning.
The Fraud Father. Interesting.
I thought you might like that.
So everybody wants to know, where the hell were you yesterday, James?
Yesterday I was down in Lake City, Minnesota. Very interesting place, right bordering the water of Lake Pepin, southeast corner of the state. I was hauling a load of cow chow. I say it's cow chow. It's actually wheat. And I unloaded that and was on my way up to get fertilizer. And just with the traffic, there was no way I could join.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, it's better to be safe than sorry, especially in that situation.
A lot of people down that way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, let's see who we've got here this morning so far. Well, we have J Squared is here. We have Mama Bear. Good morning, Mama Bear. Happy Tuesday to all. We have Travelers here. Good morning, Traveler. And Wendy from Memphis. Just the Mess from Tex is here. Trouble is in the house. Yes, I said it, Jess. Larry is here. Franny Dragonfly. Good morning, Franny. Yes, we got your eye on you, Jess. We're watching you. Jason Coons is here. Hey, D just made it. Said, good morning, y'all. I'm on time today. Well, we're glad you're here, D. Christy B from Hayesville, Kansas. Martin's WB. Good morning, Martin. Kevin Kiesler's here. Dana Mackey. Rick's R27. Andrea Lynn is piling in. Let's see here. We also have Mary Lise Brown. Hi, Mary Lise. Joy. Good morning, Joy. And Tanya Moonsheimer, Donna Fox, Brian, sassy Minnesota girl with the emphasis on sassy. Chris Romano. Let's see. Sarah Catherine. Good morning, Sarah. And look who's here. Susie Kabloozy made it. She's been playing hooky lately, so we're on to you, Susie. We're watching for you. All right, let's see here. It looks like everything is up and running. It looks like we are green lights all the way through. So, Alex, what do you got for us this morning? Can't hear you, Alex.
That's good, because that was my best presentation. Mixed bag of tricks today. S&P 500 down 9 points to 6,379.95. Dow Industrial is down 210 to 44,627 off an all-time high. NASDAQ sitting down 30 points, 29 points, 28 points, 30 points at 21,149. Gold is up almost $10, $9.80 to $3,376 per ounce. Silver is up 1 penny to $38.40. Crude oil is up $1 to $67.71 a barrel. Crypto market, everything's down slightly. Bitcoin down 0.67 to 117,366. Ethereum sitting at 3,762, which is down almost 1%. XRP down 1.4% to $3.09. All right, squirrels, leave me alone. Solana is down 3% to 180. Let's see, what were the others? Sui is down 6% to 380. And Stellar Lumens are down 1% to 42. HBAR 26 cents, down 4%.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. King's Girl 1974. And we had Benji 1959 sent us a gift. The alien buddy took me right off the rails. Sorry about that, Alex. Couldn't help but laugh.
You didn't get me. Those gifts don't get me. I just keep right on going. No worries.
Yeah, I know. Oh, okay. Here, Rick's R27. He said it's actually Rick Senior 2. Well, how the heck am I supposed to know that, Rick? So you know what you are from now on, Rick? You're Rick. That's what you are. Virgo 47 said, Sam's Romper Room. I see. I remember. Does anybody remember Romper Room? Or is it just me? Am I just that old? I'm wondering what it is.
I remember it.
Yeah, do you do? All right, let's do it. Let's do a little survey here. So, hey, Towie Bitsby just made it. Hi, Towie. We're going to do a 1 if you remember Romper Room. 2 if you have no idea what we're talking about. 1, you remember Romper Room. 2, you have no idea. What's everybody got?
I remember Captain Kangaroo, too.
Yeah, exactly.
And Mr. Green Jeans.
Marianne Thompson's here. And Martin's WB said, yes, I do remember. Wendy said 1. Franny Dragonfly 1. Chris Romano, Captain Kangaroo. There you go, Dave. J Squared 79 1. Joy 1. Lisa Maria 1. Rick 27 is the new name there. Gigi's 21. Oh, everybody remembers. DC, Weezer, Cindy Lou, TJ, Cody. They're all ones. Oh my gosh, we are in good company, everybody. Oh, and of course, sassy Minnesota girl, a 3. Of course. Did I expect anything less from you, Sassy? No, I did not. Mary Louise Brown said 2 because I'm from France. Oh, okay. Well, then you get a pass. All right. Let's see here. Now, yeah, exactly, Virgo. Virgo 47 said, see what I started? Isn't that the truth? We're going to have to call you Sassy Virgo 47 pretty soon.
She's a squirrel herder.
Yeah, exactly. Cindy Hayden 59 just showed up. All right, Dave, what do we have for farming and agriculture today? Oh, and Richard Pacente's over here on YouTube. Hi, Richard.
Absolutely. Corn, beans, and wheat are all down. Corn's down 2 to 5 across the board. Beans down 1 to 3. Wheat is down 8 to 10. Cattle is up 0.4%. Hogs are down 1%. There's a report out today that I think it's 21 states and Washington, D.C. are suing USDA's effort to gather food stamp data of millions of people for privacy stuff. So that's kind of almost like they're trying to hide something there. So that's interesting stuff. So I think that might be another way to cut the fat. So we'll see what happens out of that lawsuit.
Exactly. Great report as usual, Dave. Virgo 47 with all the squirrels in the chat. Yeah, I know. Paco said he remembers Captain Kangaroo as well. Hey, Lisa. Oh, and there she is, the sheriff, the gunslinger. Lisa Maria is here. She said, Sky PJC is my sister. Sky PJC is your sister, and I'm assuming that they're here on the live. Well, good morning, sis. I hope all is well with you. We love your sister. She is fantastic. She's our sheriff, slinging the 6-shooters every day with us.
Family.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Oh, there it is. Sky PJC just sent us, I think, a smiley face. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, that's great. Well, welcome, Sky PJC. Okay, let's see here. James, the man, the myth, the military report. Let's hear it.
Well, it's not as exciting as you'd think, but it's somewhat interesting. So the United States Navy is trying to keep up with the Joneses and the rest of the military about autonomous vessels. So the U.S. Navy has announced that they are going to be acquiring unmanned maritime vessels. They're requesting open ocean, high endurance, non-exquisite autonomous vessels. These vessels are going to be used as mules. Basically, they're going to be supply ships. The smallest one is to carry 1 container, the largest 40 containers. Each vessel will meet a different operational need. The baseline range will be a payload of 25 metric tons, a distance of 2,500 nautical miles, maintaining 25 knots, up to sea state 4. So a lot of people probably don't know what the different sea states are. They range from 0 and they go as high as 9. It's basically the explanation of that is it's the general condition of a free surface of a large body of water with respect to wind, waves, and swell. The sea state characterized by these characteristics are wave, height, period, and spectrum. Of these 9 sea states, the vessels that they're seeking to build are going to be able to take sea state 4, which is a wave height of 4.1 feet to 8.2. That's average. 0 being flat, sea state 9 is waves over 46 feet.
Wow.
So that's pretty impressive. So basically what the Navy wants is they want to bring additional munitions on these mules, and they're going to be in every battle group, every carrier group, and they're going to carry munitions that are high explosive. What's significant about that is if you take some of that high explosive munition and put it on a different vessel, there's no humans that are going to be involved in that. When they need that ammo or when they need those missiles, they're going to come over, drive over to the other boat, grab them, load them on, and go. So aside from that, this is one of my more favorite things to report. Judge Janine Pirro goes after a 4-star Navy Admiral, Robert Burke. She's taken him down this is her first. So she's taken him down for bribery, conspiracy to commit bribery, concealing material facts from the U.S. government. He basically used his professional position for personal gain. And her next is James Comey. That was that 8647 seashell message on the shore.
Yeah, that he didn't know anything about and didn't know what it
Right.
Your ass.
So, right. I like that. Sam's a little spirited today.
I'm getting a little froggy today. All right, sorry. Okay, James, great report as usual. Thank you so much. Kathleen Garcia says we got to remember Howdy Doody. Yep, you're right. I do remember Howdy Doody. Hey, Jeff just made it. Hey, Jeff, glad you could make it. Patriot Daddy is laughing with us as well. Hey, Cece just made it. Hi, Cece. Glad you made it. All right, let's see. Boy, the chat's on fire today. Cece said, Spicy Sam. Well, I guess that's one way to put it, Cece. Yeah, I'm a little spicy. I'm feeling a little froggy this morning, I guess. You know, James, piggybacking off of what you said, we're going to get into one of these stories. And it was attack drones will be deployed at select U.S. schools to stop school shooters in emergencies by a company called Campus Guardian Angel, a company that is a military and defense contractor. Have you heard anything about that, James? Any more details on that?
Actually, I have not. I didn't really get a chance to go into it with all the other items that were on the dispatch this morning. That's something that I would like to save for till tomorrow, till I get a little further into it. Actually, it's a pretty good idea. Taking away the human factor, not putting cops in danger or security guards in danger. I think it's a good idea. Whether they use AI or not, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Mary Lise Brown just sent me a coffee magic. That was cool. Thanks, Mary Lise. Hits made it. Hi, Hits. Glad you could make it. Let's see here. We have, oh my gosh, the chat is on fire today. Alex, any comments on these drones guarding the schools?
I think it's a freaking amazing idea. I one of the TikToks that I did, it's been a while back when we were sending $40 billion over to Ukraine, and we had some incidents happen at schools. The most hardened school in the U.S., they spent $400,000 to put automatic locks on the classroom doors. They fog out the hallways in the school and use infrared cameras. And the sheriff's department has a direct link to all the cameras in the school. There's, I think, roughly 25,000 junior high and high schools across the country. For $40 billion that we sent over to Ukraine, we could harden every one of those schools 10 times over. And I really went about that. And it's time that we have these conversations and we talk about these things, because criminals don't obey the law. They just don't. And, if I was going to go looking for cookies, I'm going to go to the first place that I can think of that the cookies are not secured. It's time that we use the technology and the abilities that we have to protect our kids. That has to be the number one priority. They're the future of this country. They're the minds that are going to take us the next 80, 90, 100 years. It just makes sense. It just makes sense.
100%. I agree. Hey, B. Bethany's here. Hey, B. Glad you could make it. Leather and Pearls showed up. Hello, Leather. Excuse me. Hokey Gigi's here. So Dave, what any thoughts on this before we move on?
Oh, yeah. I was reading up on it. When an alarm is triggered, trained operators remotely launch the drones from central operating centers. The drones are designed to respond rapidly with a goal of engaging a shooter within 15 seconds and taking him down within 60. They are equipped with features like cameras, metal tips to shatter glass, and pepper ball guns or a non-lethal detergent. The systems cost approximately $15,000 for 6 drones. That plus $4 per month per student to have it in the school, and it looks like it's going to be in Texas and Florida is going to be starting that stuff. So
yeah, excellent. So I got a message this morning on TikTok from one of our community, and apparently he got banned from TikTok. Now I don't want to say his name unless he gives me the go ahead, or his old screen name, but he looks like he's in the chat today, and if you would like to be mentioned, I'd be happy to do it.
I did see that.
Yeah. Do you know who it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't want to say anything, but if you want me to mention that in the on the broadcast, I'd be happy to. And anyway, he got banned, and he said it took him a while to to find us again. And I think there's some really strange things going on with TikTok. I don't think it's nefarious in nature, but I do think that there's something going on in terms of the algorithms, the updates. I don't know. Alex would have a better idea on that, but we're just so glad that you were able to find us again. Alex is shaking his head. No, I have no idea. I know, right, Alex?
Yeah, it's a mystery science, this TikTok algorithm.
Yeah, it's amazing. But anyway, glad you found us and you're back on board with us. All right, so let's see here. Hey, R. Young just made it. Hey, R. Young. And Ozzy Crosby over on YouTube. Hey, Ozzy. He's always got our back over there. And we've got some trolls on YouTube today. Oh, my goodness.
I already took care of them.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Cody said, I got permanently banned twice. That's why I used my son's name. Well, you got to outsmart him, and it sounds like you're doing it. Jess Perry 16 said TikTok algorithms are all over the place. Yeah, it's true. 100% I agree. All right, let's move in. So we have PayPal is going to roll out Pay with Crypto, a feature allowing businesses to accept more than 100 cryptocurrencies at checkout. Now, this is according to Bloomberg. Alex, what do you make of it?
Hell yeah. Let's go. About damn time.
Yeah, exactly.
You're telling me that the switch is here. It's happening. The move is happening. And so again, it's a hedge against inflation. If I put $100 over into a crypto account and it happens to, grow by 10 and go to $1,000, not financial advice. Buy it on the TikTok shop, but it just makes sense. More and more, I think we're going to see. If you go back a year, maybe even a year and a half, the big banks are starting to allow people to get into crypto in their portfolio. Now, my question is, why did you have to have a net worth of over 5 million or something like that? Was the first ones that they rolled it out to? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But everybody, it's going to permeate every part of our existence over the course of the next couple of years.
100%, I agree. James, what are your thoughts?
Well, there's 560 million crypto holders worldwide, and they're driving a transformation. It's like Alex says, it's the way of the world. PayPal, pay with crypto 3 months earlier than Microsoft. AT&T, Overstock, Tesla, Starbucks, Whole Foods, Newegg, Twitch, and Cheap Air are all companies that take crypto. But the one thing that captures my interest on that is, given the ups and downs of the crypto value, think about the guy that used 4 Bitcoin to pay for a frickin' pizza, and now it's a $400,000 plus pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get it. Dave?
It sounds like they're going to charge just shy of 1% on all transactions. In September, they let businesses buy, hold, and sell crypto, and it has increased its market capacity to 70% since the beginning of the year, to about $850 million.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. James, Brian said, how's XRP looking today?
Yeah, I mean, not bedwetter.
Exactly.
How so?
Well, it's still up, what, 530% over the last year. So yeah, it's not doing bad.
Right.
Holding three.
It's the long game.
Yep.
Right.
This conversation how many times? In a month, it's up 41%. In a year, it's up 390%.
I'm just responding.
Say what?
I was just responding. You don't have to jump down my throat. Come on, dude.
Now Alex has got his 6 shooters out, huh?
He does.
Oh my gosh. Let's see.
I really wasn't. I was just trying to explain to the audience that, I mean, you're right. I was concurring. It's up 390% in a year.
Right. And as Alex said, you guys, it's the long game. And that long game is not 40 and 50 years like stocks were, 60 years ago. We're talking the long game over the next 1 to 5 years.
I think James is just defensive because he's about to have to buy some staples.
Did you guys put a clock on that as to when it has to happen by?
End of
December 3/1. That's right.
Today of this year?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see.
Man, that flushed my face. My face is as red as my hat.
But you weren't quite as red as Dave at the Trump rally a couple of weeks ago.
That's true.
Exactly.
No, that was hot.
Lisa in 1981 put some sort of a graphic in the chat. I'm not sure what that is. I don't want to. It looks like it could be a couple different things, so I'm not going to come.
It got deleted. We're not.
Okay. All right. Good. Because I didn't know. I'm not sure what the hell it was.
I think it was a bedwetter.
Oh, is that what? That's kind of what I thought. That's what I thought. Beastly Graybeard 1776 said, patience for the long game. Very true. Jeff said, everything is the long game. Yep. Dave. Oh, my God.
I got something for James just in case.
Oh,
I know, right? Sassy Minnesota girl said, everybody's sassy today. It's true. Everybody's feeling froggy. What the hell is going on is what I want to know. Are they spraying something in the air?
Oh, Mercury's in retrograde.
Oh, is that
right?
Oh, too bad Lee's not here. She could give us a little info on that.
That's right.
Toby said, love your content, Sam. Well, we love having you here, Toby. Oh, Wendy said it was crude. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was a pew-pew or something else, but either way, it got handled. Not a guru. Always. Exactly. All right. Larry said it's Happy Tuesday. Yeah, I guess so, man, because we're all on a roll today. I love it. All right, so Samsung's Texas fab to build Tesla's next generation AI chips in their quote "Made in USA" push. Dave, what do you make of that?
It's interesting. It's a $16.5 billion deal. It's for the self-driving systems for the Tesla vehicles, their humanoid robots, and the high-performance AI training data center. So that's a big deal. That's obviously starting them off on the right foot for the U.S.-made chips. So
Exactly, James.
Well, they took that business away from a Taiwan company, and Samsung is a South Korean firm. They're worth just a little less than $290 billion. And they're second behind Apple's most valuable company, or Apple, the world's most valuable company, at 3.57 trillion. So you can see, and that's as of September of last year. So those numbers change by the month, but that's a big deal for Samsung. It's a big deal for all their employees and the future employees. There's a lot more jobs coming up because of this.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, Alex.
Well, I mean, I guess the tariffs work.
No kidding. Speaking of the tariffs, we're going to jump to this other story because I found it very interesting. Bill Maher, and I have some personal experience with Bill Maher. I won't get into the details, but he has come so far right compared to where he was a few years ago. And based on inside information, he's much more right than people realize. But speaking of the tariffs, Alex, he came out yesterday and said that he has to own the fact that he was wrong about the tariffs. I mean, my goodness, that's a pretty big deal, I think. What do you think, Alex?
I think it is a big deal. I think Bill, I mean, a friend of ours for a birthday gift, and her intentions were well meant, but she bought me Bill Maher's book. He's not a dumb man. He is a smart man, and I think he sees very clearly that the politics in America have been broken for quite a while, and the self-admitted Trump derangement syndrome. I think. I mean, who'd have thought tariffs would work? It's curing some things. You can't argue with the receipts. And he's smart enough to realize that the receipts are sitting right in front of him. So it's a good thing. I again, civil discourse and having conversations with the other side without calling people names, without trying to insult the other side, which the left commonly wants to throw out insults to see how they can get your face red and make you stutter. It just doesn't make sense. Let's talk about receipts.
Yeah, 100%. Dave?
Back to the feelings.
And when you got Bill Maher and CNN and MSNBC saying, "Oh boy, maybe this is the right way to go," something's going on. And you know what? This is just the tip of the iceberg. We haven't hit the stride even close of what's going to happen.
Right. Exactly. James, any thoughts?
Well, sure. I mean, you're taking a Democratic governor over in Pennsylvania, and he's turning the switch. Look at the Home Depot guy; he's making a switch. So people are starting to come around, and I think it's no different than the public. I think we're all starting to take another look and saying, "Wow, this really is pretty cool."
Yeah, exactly. And on that same note, I'm trying to find my note on this, but Bill Maher has come a long way. I think the overall direction and thrust to the left is they're being exposed to the truth. And I think there's going to come a point where they can't help but admit that at least some of their theories and ideology were incorrect.
Well, he doesn't have a choice. He doesn't have a choice. Look at Stephen Colbert.
Yep, 100%.
You don't have a choice. If you're not getting the ratings that you used to get, the advertisers aren't spending money, therefore
Right.
your show's not making money, then they cut your ass off the network. You don't have a choice.
Right.
You either talk about receipts or you go away.
Right. 100% I agree. Teresa
Just
Faria.
like The View.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me dispel that myth about The View. The View constantly, annually, this time of year, goes on hiatus. So this is their normal scheduled break, and they're trying to flip it. would I like to see Joy Bear and Whoopi in a never mind. Yes, but what's happening right now with The View is not what some people would like to think is happening with The View. Not yet.
Right. Hey, Teresa Faria Contractor just made it. Hi, Teresa. Glad you could make it. Let's see here. Well, that's really weird. I got this weird. Huh. Oh, well, I don't know what the hell that was all about.
Squirrel.
I know. Yeah, everybody knows by now that if it's a GIF that I've not seen before, or one that covers my face in some way, I'm completely off the rails. And if something happens on one of my screens, same thing. So everybody already knows that. All right, let's see what we've got next here. So the Federal Reserve is meeting this week, and President Trump says Jerome Powell has, quote, has to cut interest rates, should be 1%. A smart person would cut. He leaves very soon, so I'll miss him greatly. Talk about the troller in chief. That is President Trump. And, oh, wow, did you guys see that? That was a trip. Wow, it looked like a Roman crown of some sort, right? Wow, that was cool. Who was it? Hey, Ben, thank you. Once again, completely off the rails, low tide banging. All right, so with this whole thing with the Federal Reserve, it's coming back into the narrative in a big way. Are we going to see more about Fort Knox? Are we going to see some other things? What do you think, Alex?
Let me pull out my crystal ball. It's not big enough. There's no way to tell. There's so much happening so fast. I mean, we're six months in. 6 months in.
Yep. Leather and Pearl said, America, baby. USA is back.
America,
Exactly. James?
Speaking of America is back, she brought up a very good point. James, I need to go after James. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
No, you're on it. Talk it.
July 29th, 2019, on the board. Trump's hands on the desk in a photo, and right across the middle, it says, America is back.
Wow. Incredible. James?
Well, typically, when you see a cut in the interest rate, the stock market has an effect. It's affected and usually goes down significantly. So if we go from where we're at down to 1%, and there's people just chomping at the bit, you're talking about borrowing costs are going to be down, home buyers, property investors, valuations, equity in growth, economic growth, jobs. And we touched on this here, I think a little better than a week ago. Just think of all the people that are property investors that are going to go buy and have them remade or try to do an extreme makeover cheaply and then put it back on the market. You're talking thousands and thousands of jobs created just basically in the snap of a finger. I, for one, am waiting for it to drop to hopefully 1% like they're hoping or asking for. Because if I buy that point, basically the money to me is free. And
right.
that's what I'm hoping for.
But again, I think that there is much more going on behind the scenes in terms of the optical bankrupting of the Federal Reserve. It's already been rolled into the Treasury. Now, the question is the tentacles of that central banking system have permeated so many areas, not only in America, but around the world, that I've got to believe that's part of the plan to get those tentacles out of everywhere in the world from the central banking system. Dave, what do you think?
Well, with the tariffs coming in August 1st and them not lowering interest rates Thursday, I believe it is when they're having the meeting, and lowering interest rates all across the world. Obviously, there's some other factor involved in it. So we'll see how that plays out after August 1st. What's he going to do when we're bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars throughout the year? So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out.
Right. Devin Quas 45 said, I hope we get America back prior to 1913. Well, Devin, that's exactly what's happening, in my opinion. When Congress passed the Federal Reserve Act in 1913, the same year that income tax was initiated, the same year that Social Security numbers were issued, it's all part of that hydra that needs to be ripped out of existence not just here in America, but around the world. So I agree with you, Devin. We are moving back to that. J Squared 79 said, I'll go back to 1871. Another good point, J Squared. You're talking about the Act of 1871 that essentially incorporated the United States of America. And that is what set up the Federal Reserve to be moved on by the Congress in 1913. So you're absolutely right. Very, very good point. All right, let's see. Oh, Devin said, yep, bye-bye taxes. 100% I agree. We're in the very first phases of it now. Okay, so Cue the Storm on X said that the Los Angeles Firefighters Union is suing Gavin Newsom for $400 million for, quote, dereliction of duty during a crisis. This is a big deal. I personally believe that when President Trump came to California, what did he say? He said, we broke into California, we invaded California, we took over California. I think that a lot of that has already happened, and we're just seeing the optical rollout, as Rambo and friends and Dave over at News Treason like to call it, and I agree with them. It's an optical rollout of things that have already happened. What's your take on it, James?
Well, in a devastating event like this fire that encompassed 60 square miles, took 30 people's lives, 200,000 plus evacuated, 57,000 acres burned. It doesn't make sense why the guy said no. And as far as not using salt water, hell, why wouldn't you?
Right.
Use anything you can.
Oh, no, because there's going to be, some sort of maritime or marine life that's affected.
Well, I kind of get some of the reason about not using salt water, but in an emergency, you should use anything you can.
Well, here's story time. My first business was a health club in Dana Point, California. I started it in 1987. Hold on one second here. And at that time in Dana Point, there was a place called the Cliffs that overlooked the ocean. Beautiful property. And nobody ever built on it, and we couldn't figure out why. Well, this is back in, like I said, around late 80s, early 90s. And what happened was the Coastal Commission and some other California organizations, typically NGOs, came in and they said that they weren't going to allow building there because they found one single white mouse on that property. And they shut down, at that time, a multi-million-dollar project because of one single white mouse. So you know what was happening. It was money laundering back then. It's money laundering today. And again, the Chevron deference coming into play. I hope that the LA Firefighters Union is successful with Gavin Newsom, because there's going to be a whole string of events that take place following that, in my opinion. Dave?
Well, it's just one more thing to bring forward the corruption and the fraud in California, along with the fire aid now, the $100 million they raised for the concert. There was a poll in January that revealed that only 30% of the voters approved of Newsom's handling for the wildfire response, with 42 disappointing, and the other 28 had to leave the state. I mean, plain and simple, it's insane, but it's exposing more fraud in California.
Yeah, and speaking of California, everyone, we have a guest coming on tomorrow. His name is Herb Morgan. He is running for the controller of California. He's running as a Republican. I had a long conversation with him yesterday. Alex joined us as well, and he's going to be coming on as a guest tomorrow. Now, again, Dave, we're going to use your account, I think, right, Alex?
Yep.
Okay.
Megaphone.
Yeah, and hopefully we can change it to his name for tomorrow. But anyway, I want anybody who can be here tomorrow. It would be well worth your time. Herb Morgan running for controller, and he'll be on the show tomorrow, Wednesday. It was Wednesday, right, Alex?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyway, just want to give everybody a heads up. You know what? Let's do our sponsor break here. So,
Wait, I get to talk about Gavin Newsom in the fires.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes, I'm sorry.
Gavin called.
Yeah, Alex had an itchy button finger there. He had to use that sound effect. I love it. All right, let's get to some sponsors here real quick. So, First up, MyPillow, of course. Mike Lindell just sponsored me from the beginning. He's got a good American company with good American products, and he's fighting for the integrity of America. So go to mypillow.com, use the discount code SAM, and get up to 80% off of all of your purchases. Secondly, Dr. Peter Glidden. Dr. Glidden is a stalwart when it comes to health and wellness. He was on the show yesterday. He'll be back again very soon. But as many of you have taken advantage of this, if you go to Dr. Glidden's button on my website, where Alex is pointing right there, click on that link. He's already reduced his cost for his membership by almost half. And if you use the code SAM, you'll get a 30% discount. And you can literally go in and you can ask him any question you can think of with health and wellness, and you'll have an answer given to you, provided right then. I would highly encourage everyone to do that. And then, of course, we have Neil Naturopathic, the only chemical-free, toxin-free hair care products on the market today that I'm aware of. If you go to neilnaturopathic.com or to my website where Alex is showing you right there, click on that button, enter in the code SAM20, that's SAM20, and you'll get 20% of your entire order. And then, Alex, are we going to talk about cybersecurity today or meditation?
Click the link on my bio, ladies and gentlemen, if you want the easy road to a peaceful mind. It's a book written to help guide you in your meditation journey. The link is in my bio. It's available on Amazon. If you buy the book, I will gladly provide you with a 1-hour private meditation class.
Ooh, wow. Great. And they can just search it on Google or on Amazon, Alex?
Correct. If you search Alex Raymer on Amazon, the book comes up. I'm hesitant to put that up because last time we did, the trolls went over there and left me bad reviews. But I don't.
Jeez.
I mean, do whatever you want with it. It's proven, it's tested, tried and true. If you want to learn how to meditate, which has health benefits galore, just reach out and we'll get you squared away.
Excellent. Thanks, Alex. Not a Guru said, Sam, my buddy and I restored a 65 El Camino SS. I saw you have something similar. Okay, so here's the backstory with that Not a Guru. It's not my vehicle. It's my buddy Mike's. It's a 66 El Camino, and he's restored it from the ground up. New suspension, new. Anyway, I just couldn't help but take a video of me driving it and posting it. But no, it's not my car. It's his. But what a blast that thing is to drive. What a blast. All right, let's see. Let's move on here. We have got, oh my gosh. Well, let me, oh my word. I'm seeing all these dancing emojis in the chat, and I'm like, holy smokes, we must have hit 100,000. We have already hit 111,000 likes. You guys are awesome. That's just so amazing. Yeah, Dave, you're a little slow on the draw there, mister.
I'm slacking.
You should, yeah. We're going to have to have
over.
Uh-oh, Alex, is Dave's feed starting to flicker out there? I'm wondering. Just kidding, Dave. Just kidding. All right, well, let's move on. Texas is going to become the 7th state to ban the production and sale of lab-grown meat in September. I don't know of all the other states. James, what do you have on that?
Well, Texas is the 7th state to do this. It's also called cultivated meat. Texas produces 15% of the beef production in the United States. Indiana, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, Alabama, and Florida. One of the interesting states that introduced the legislation to ban it was Oklahoma. When it got to the Senate, it got shot down. So it's an interesting thing. There are some problems with this lab-grown meat, and I'm sure that RFK Jr. is going to be on this. Chemicals in lab-grown meat are calcium propionate. It's known to cause migraines and headaches, and it also contains sodium nitrate, known for high blood pressure. There's also another chemical called EDTA, and it's a compound that used to bind ions. So they're using chemicals to stick it together, and there's chemicals in it that are bad for you. I can't see RFK signing off on this. So for those other states that have banned it, you look at these beef producers like Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa. This is a big win for them.
Yep, 100%. Dave?
It looked like the several other states, including Alabama, Florida, Indiana, Mississippi, Montana, and Nebraska have also implemented bans. I just don't know why you'd want to do this.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Makes no sense.
Exactly. Alex?
James, I hope you're taking note of where you're going to buy those steaks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so let's move on here. RFK Jr. This one is near and dear to my heart, and I'm going to tell you why. So he came out and he talked about the 1986 Vaccine Act that gave vaccine makers immunity against lawsuits by children who suffered vaccine injuries. Then a few years later, the government, in all their wisdom, created the VICP, the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. And the idea behind that was to compensate families who had been damaged or their children had been damaged by vaccines. Well, that got hijacked and that got all screwed up. Now, he has promised yesterday that he's going to fix that system. Now, I personally believe we just need to get rid of vaccines completely, but that's just my opinion. He said he's going to rectify this situation. And this has been something that's going on. In 1987, I was involved with the National Vaccine Information Center, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs back then for parents not to get their kids vaccinated. When I would talk to people about this back then, they looked at me like I had a horn coming out of the front of my forehead. Today, now we're seeing the vaccination rates drop by over 50%. And now RFK Jr. is going to take them to task and make sure that this is working the way it's supposed to. I, for one, am glad to see it. Alex?
The man has a track record for taking things on that he's passionate about. I know that in some areas politically, there's two sides of the fence between him and Trump and those things. But an acquaintance of mine out of Texas did a documentary on RFK's life, and you guys can.
Hey, we hit the goal. Thank you, everybody.
So if you just search RFK Jr. documentary, I think you all might gain a little different perspective on who he is and what he stands for and what he's been through. I mean, think about the little boy that lost his father at such a young age, and then you kind of understand the journey. And for it to come full circle to where he's at, a very accomplished attorney that has taken on these large corporations and literally whipped their ass. I mean, the dude's in his 70s and can probably do more push-ups than the four of us combined. I don't know about Sam, but the dude's tough.
He's tough, yeah.
Legit. And so, you know, I am hopeful. And now they're just like, you know, Doc Glidden and others that I follow, Jack Krause, Kruse. They are still skeptical because they don't think that he's taking it on in a big enough way. But I would say patience, and let's see what the man gets done.
Right. It's going to take time. Susie Kabluzzi said, Sammy, I have so many kids that have autism I work with every day. Susie, 25 years ago, it was 1 in 20,000 kids developed autism. Back then we had 3, 5, 6 vaccines. Now there's 62 on the regimen, and 1 in 34 children develops autism. It's out of control. It has to be dealt with. And I'm prayerful and hopeful that RFK is going in that direction. It sure looks like he is. But you're right, Susie. You're absolutely right. It's unacceptable, in my opinion. Dave?
No, yeah, it looks like he's trying to, reports suggest he's exploring ways to broaden the program scope, including potentially extending it to include those who claim injuries from the 2020 jabs, and possibly extending the statute of limitations for filing claims. So that would start to keep things in check.
Right. James, any thoughts on that?
Sure. When COVID came around, I think this is a good lesson, but it's just more than coincidence that they had those damage payouts ready, taken away. And I remember distinctly that when they came out with the vaccinations for COVID, that they said, look, these Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, these companies, Pfizer, they're not liable for the outcomes of these vaccines. And I think that was a very good lesson for everybody in the world to see that you can't just whip something up, throw it in a hypodermic needle and say, hey, you're going to take this and it's going to make you better, because that obviously is proven that it's not.
Right, right. Martin's WB said, I have 2 grandkids that have autism. Well, first of all, Martin, I'm sorry to hear that. But secondly, there is a book that you should get. This is not medical advice. This is my opinion. But there is a doctor by the name of, oh God, I'm just drawing a blank now. It'll come to me in a second. Anyway, he stood against vaccines. And they tried to take his medical license away. They tried to ultimately unalive him. Oh, that was cool. Look at that thing. Anyway, the name of the book is Callous Disregard. And his whole premise is that you can reverse autism. And it has to do with the gut more than anything else. But I would highly encourage you. His name is Andrew. Oh God, Alex, will you pull up Google Callous Disregard? I cannot believe I'm not remembering his name. Anyway, Alex is pulling that up. And the name of the book is called Callous Disregard. And Martin, I would highly encourage you to get that book and read it. It'll help your grandkids immensely, in my opinion.
Collins?
No, it's Andrew.
Just a second. Andrew Wakefield.
Andrew Wakefield. I cannot believe I could not remember that name. Andrew Wakefield, Dr. Andrew Wakefield, Callous Disregard. Get that book, Martin. It'll do you and your family a world of good, in my opinion. I know, not medical advice. Buy it in the tuck shop. Yada, 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 yada. Anyway, any other comments on this, guys?
I was going to say, what to help that, Sam, is a little bit of coconut oil.
Yeah, coconut oil. Actually, coconut oil when it comes to dementia and Alzheimer's. looks like I need to be taking some coconut oil today. Jeez. But yes, coconut oil, 3 tablespoons a day. Phenomenal choice.
Richard Pacente over on YouTube said, I just had a prostate biopsy while watching your show.
Way to give it to us there, Richard.
That is dedication.
Exactly.
Well, I hope the biopsy comes back good, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Blessings to you, Richard, for sure. All right, moving on. AG Letitia James is back in the news, everybody. Yep, she's suing the Trump administration in an effort to keep illegal immigrants eligible for SNAP benefits. How the hell does somebody like that get involved in our government? It's time for her to go. Alex?
I mean, if I was going to hire a person to be an actor to play the dumbest person in government, she would be A-list number 1.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jen Talk just made it. Hey, Jen. TJ said, knowing my choice to immunize my son years ago breaks my heart. He's now 26 with autism. Again, TJ, get that book and read it. James, what are your thoughts on Letitia James, your buddy?
Oh.
Is that a bedwetter, James?
Yeah. Well, you're talking about, you're not talking about 100 people here. You're talking about 1.5 million folks. So I agree. I shake my head on it. So there are some states that don't allow it. Montana, Delaware, Mississippi, West Virginia, Wyoming, no illegals. And that's of April 28th of this year. So there's probably been some other states that jumped on board with that too. And I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Michalicious said, I'm so sick of these COVID jabs still being pushed constantly all over the speakers at the stores. I know it's going to take time to get them out, but at least most everyone here is aware of what's going on. Let's see. Have I hit everybody on that one?
Nope, I was just going to say it's a coalition of 20 other general attorneys and the state of Kentucky challenged the Trump administration on that. Yeah. It is what it is. They're paying for it. If you don't like it, then we'll shut everything down, and then it's on you guys. Plain and simple. Exactly. Trump will win that one too, just like all the rest.
Speaking of winning with President Trump, we talked about the U.S. European Union trade deal, and CNN, of all places, had to admit that President Trump just might know what he's actually maybe doing, what he thinks he's going to be doing, and is actually accomplishing it. Alex, what are your thoughts?
Backfire. I mean, what do you say? Go woke, you go broke. Again, it goes back to the conversation with Bill Maher. Like you either start to bring receipts and report the facts, or you're going to cease to exist.
Right. Exactly. James?
CNN really they've been given no choice. They walk around with a turd in their pocket all the time, trying to pass it on.
Such a colorful way to express that, James. Thank you.
Well, there's no way they can stay on. I mean, it's like Bill Maher. It's like the governor of Pennsylvania. I mean, they're going to come around sooner or later, but now they're backed into a corner. What other kind of news can they report other than what's positive? There is no negative here, and there's obviously with the UK deal, that's such a massive, massive deal. And to watch their premier, what was she? Is she a premier ambassador? What is she? The gal that talked, president, whatever she is, the Royal Highness. Yesterday, I watched her, and she was actually proud to make that deal with the United States. That speaks volumes. And how CNN could twist that into anything negative, there was no chance.
Yeah, 100%.
Capitulation. Like they don't have a choice. You either do business or you don't. And the catastrophic consequences of them not doing deals, the dude's brilliant. He wrote a book, Art of the Deal. You might want to read it, and then you'll understand why these things are happening the way they're happening. They don't have a choice.
Yeah,
they
100%.
don't.
100%, I agree. Penny, thank you for all the gifts. Dave?
Hi, Penny.
One thing I do know, Ted Turner's wet in the bed for sure.
Exactly. All right. What's that?
Yeah.
Maybe Bezos will buy him out.
Yeah,
Buy 'em out.
exactly. EPA is going to abolish the U.S. government authority to regulate greenhouse gases. That is huge, you guys. I won't expound upon it. I'm going to go right to James.
You know, greenhouse gases, anything that has to do with an EPA consideration. When you take out companies like Caterpillar, and we just talked about this a few days ago, when you take out companies like Caterpillar out of the truck engine world, we have a lot of semis in the world, and what they're putting on the road today is garbage compared to what the old cats have, and that's what I have, an old cat in my semi. And when you bring these companies back around and they talk about being reborn, and that's Caterpillar's making that very talk about it, that's exciting to me. It's like, wow, let's come back to life. And all this stuff that they've created to make emissions better. Take a trip down to the railroad tracks when that train takes off. Tell me they have anything to do with greenhouse gas.
Right.
It's nothing but a cloud.
Beastly Graybeard 1776 said, do business with the U.S. or go broke. Exactly. All right, any other comments on this one, guys?
Quite frankly, we're making cow farts great again.
Dave?
Well, it's amazing. They're at one point we were going to have restrictions on what we can put on our farm, what we could utilize on the carbon side of it. They'd pay us more money to grow. If our corn was no-till, and they'd pay us more for it because we wouldn't be producing as much. And then when our corn produces enough oxygen for 131 people to breathe per acre per year, it's like the offset is insane.
Yeah.
So they said, I will not take your carbon stuff until you start paying me for my oxygen I'm producing.
There you go.
Plain and simple.
Hey, Calvin Lee, thank you for all the gifts. It's so kind of you.
Hey, Calvin, welcome, buddy.
All right, so let's move to the last story. Actually, I want to give some shout outs to the following people. They always support our show, and I just want to make it known that we are so appreciative. Benji 1959, Mary Lees Brown, Larry 43442, Tammy C54, of course, Interstate Inmate, Franny Dragonfly, Calvin Lee, Cowie Bixby, Johnny B, Jess the Mess from Tex, Cody, Susie Kabloozy, Wendy, Jeff Papp, Traveler, Penny, Kingsgirl 1974, J Squared 79, Sarah Catherine, Lace and Steel. Uh-oh, that sounds serious. Teresa Faria Contractor. Joy, I'm married to Bob, Beastly Graybeard 1776, Kathleen Garcia, Rick, Martin's WB, Hokey Gigi, Sassy Minnesota Girl, Not a Guru, and the list goes on. Thank you all so much. Thank you. All right, let's see. Moving to the last story of the day, everyone. Pam Bondi yesterday said, today at my direction, this is yesterday, the Justice Department filed a misconduct complaint against U.S. District Court Chief Judge James Boasberg for making improper public comments about President Trump and his administration. And these comments have undermined the integrity of the judiciary, and we will not stand for that. Dave?
Well, I can only imagine on who got that judge in. I believe it was Barry. Barry brought him in. So it's not shocking. All these judges are pushing. They were given more power than they actually have. And the Trump administration will knock them down and put them in place.
100%. James?
My girl, Pammy, she's going after him. But, anybody that talks shit about 47, Daddy T, if they undermine the president in any way, and this goes for anyone, you're going to get looked at. Why people are asking for this exposure to make themselves look bad? That's exactly what it is. And my girl's going after him.
Exactly. Alex, any comments on that?
Well, let's break this down just a little bit. You're telling me that an unelected official, an unelected judge, has more power than the Congress, the Senate, and the United States president that are voted for by we the people. Trump called and he said,
"Stop it."
Exactly. Alex is on a roll with the sound effects today. I love it.
Stop it. Stop it.
All right, everybody. Well, that brings us to the end of and we are at 164,000 likes.
Before we dance, for tomorrow, Deltas for tomorrow, do not mistake silence for inaction. Another Delta for tomorrow, Godfather 3. It's going to be biblical.
Ooh. And
3 quotes I just want to read real fast that were posted July 30th, 2020. The Godfather one is from 2019, but for Delta for tomorrow, I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery, Thomas Jefferson. What we seek is the reign of law based upon the consent of the governed and sustained by the organized opinion of mankind, Woodrow Wilson. Educate and inform the whole mass of people. They are the only reliance for the preservation of our liberty, Thomas Jefferson. And I think that's what we do here on this show. Bring the receipts, inform the people, and I mean, it's for future shows, James, we can talk offline, but I watch the ADS Exchange, which is flight trackers for military. I'm seeing something today that I haven't seen in a while. There are 4 P-8 planes.
What are
that
those?
I'm going to explain. P-8s are basically submarine hunters. They have the electronics, and I'm looking at off the Keys. There's one running off of Miami. There's one running up by the state line north. There's one running. There are 4 planes right now that are here. I'll just show everybody. So if you're curious and want to go, adsexchange.com, Alpha Delta Sam. But it's, you can track flights and movement. So this plane currently is back up in Jacksonville, but when you click on the plane, it gives you what they're doing. So you can see their flight track. Interestingly enough, there's F5s, There's some British hawks that are flying. But if you go up here and we look at this one, also a P8 running patterns. So James, I don't know, if we can dig in and do a little research. I know Monkey Works on YouTube does quite a bit of this, but I've been watching over the last several months. Like here's another one over Lincoln, Nebraska that's running a pattern. So when you click on the plane, you can see, where they came from, what they're doing, where they've gone. But there's been here's a B2 or B1 bomber. So you can see that it flies over into the proving grounds in Utah, which is where they run exercises. So you can see the patterns that they run. So that's probably a training exercise of sorts. But when you go back down to the Gulf, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of planes that are running loops out over the ocean right now.
Which tells you they're searching for something.
They're absolutely looking for something.
They do have keep in mind, they do have a new budget. So probably run a rogue submarine and maybe they're saying, okay, let's go find it. So they got a lot of junior pilots coming on board. It could all be training. I wouldn't give it any reason to be alarmed.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, but that's a good research, Alex. Thank you.
Training, like if we're watching training, if you watch over Wichita, which I don't think he's up today, Wichita and Topeka both constantly have loops around them because they are running those touch and goes training flights and things like that. But I have personally seen a significant uptick over the last probably 3 to 5 months of planes that are running patterns. They'll take off out of Nebraska and they'll go up into the Dakotas. I'm seeing them on the Canadian border running patterns. And those planes, it depends on which plane it is, but some of those planes literally have the ability to, everything's digital now, right? We're no longer on analog. So your cell phones, that's digital data. They can pick that up. They're looking, and I again, I think it goes back to don't mistake silence for inaction. We're watching Operation Grayskull and hundreds of thousands of people being scooped up in a child abuse ring. There are things happening right now. So while I 100% understand what you're saying, James, and agree, there's a lot of training going on, but how much of the training is training and how much of it is they are absolutely catching people up in a dragnet when they're running those circles and intercepting conversations. They're looking at people moving. They can identify a pimple on a rat's ass 100 miles away. Like, it's insane what these things can do.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to put that out there. Sorry to delay the dance. Let's continue with your
and also Chris Spot said, "Hi Sam, I finally got to see you live. Woohoo!" Chris, we're glad you made it. Glad you could make it. Glad to have you here. All right, so we are at 177,000 likes. You guys are awesome, incredible.
Second best, I believe, but I don't know exactly.
It's
what the
way up
numbers
there,
are.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
But that means one thing: we're dancing this morning. So, Alex, cue it up if you would, please. And look at Alex, Obama in the Bronco. I love it. And Trump tracing him. So very true. All right, let's see. If you're at home, time to stand up. Time to get ready to dance. You are on the honor system, which means that if you are at home, you should be standing up. You should be getting ready to dance. No excuses. Let's see everybody get up and dance. And of course, let's see it in the chat. Oh boy, here we go. Everybody's already started. We've got Pure Blood Holly Jones, Larry, Benji 1959, Sid Tammy C54. We've got Cody dancing. We have Kathleen Garcia's dancing, not a guru. Beastly Graybeard 1776, Joy, Brian Yeager, Donna Fox, Chris Spots.
Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, I can't keep up with the chat. Here we go. Valerie James.
Thank you very much.
Come on, everybody, dance it up.
Yeah.
there. Kathleen Garcia, Valerie James, Calvin, Donna Fox, Mary Lee Brown, Joy, Tintin. All right. Good job, everybody. I cannot keep up with the chat when we're dancing. I have to stand up. I've got to move my mic around. And there are hundreds of dancing emojis in the
Thank you
chat.
very much.
That
Thank you
is
very much.
incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, everybody. Let's see. Let's move to final thoughts. James?
Well, I apologize for missing yesterday. I always feel really guilty when stuff like that happens, and I can't be on. And I apologize. But Dave, thanks for letting everybody else know. I know that calling Alex and calling you Sam is not always an option. You guys are deep into your studies and your IT shit, so I stay out of that all together. And yes, Alex, I will go look up PH today, and I'll make a couple calls and see what my buddies are talking about. And you never know, they could be on a mission. Appreciate everybody being here. It's always good to be back. I really to see you guys here and all the fun messages when I try to concentrate and read both. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but a lot of exciting stuff here. I hope crypto gets its head out of the ass and gets to work. We need to be making some money today.
Good. Thanks, James. Nana's here. Hit said it's always a great time with you all, Sam. It's a great time for all of us, Hits. Thanks for being here. Dave?
Well, we got good news. Daddy will be back at the White House tonight at 7:20 p.m. So I'm sure he'll be working on the flight over. He's probably in midair right now on the way home. Played some golf, opened up over in Scotland today. So exciting to see what brings this afternoon and tomorrow. Thanks for everybody being here.
Thanks, Dave. Kings Girl 1974 said, "We missed you, James." Yeah, we all did. Absolutely. Virgo 47 said the same thing. Alex?
I appreciate the gifts, the likes, the camaraderie, the family, the connection. Have received some private messages that there are some people out there right now that are struggling. You don't have to struggle alone. Just reach out. That's the first step. So I know that economically and emotionally, sometimes things get pretty thick. But you're not on an island. You're not alone. We appreciate very much everybody taking time to be here, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Tammy C54 said, "I'm sorry I didn't dance. I'm canning pickles, but I did
We need
post."
some.
What's that, James?
We need some. Do you
Yeah,
even see
Tammy,
what
if you want to send a can of pickles over, I'll certainly accept it.
Bread and butter, please.
Exactly.
Did you happen to see what Brian said? Missed you, bedwetter.
There you go. Exactly. All right, everybody. Dave, James, Alex, as always, very well put. And as they say all the time, everyone, we wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for you at home. So we're just so grateful that you're here. So grateful that you're so encouraging. You always have our back. Buy it in the TikTok shop and going after the trolls. That's the definition of family to me. And I just want to thank you. And I want to remind you that the best is yet to come. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Alex, what are you taking us out with today?
Oh, I don't know. I think the Delta for tomorrow says it all. Godfather 3, it's going to be biblical.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, Tammy C54, you're on the hook now for pickles for all of us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
188,000 likes. Incredible,
much.
everyone. Incredible.
Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. Well, have a great day today. We'll see you all tomorrow. Remember, we have a special guest tomorrow. Herb's going to be with us, running for controller in California, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Have a wonderful day, everybody. See you guys.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.